I hadn't planned it. The silence between us didn't start with some grand strategy. It started with exhaustion. For months, I had been the one reaching for her hand first, leaning in for the kiss goodnight, pulling her closer in bed. For months, I had been giving and she had been distant. She would smile politely when I hugged her, mumble good night as she turned to the far edge of the mattress, and brush me off with excuses when I asked what was wrong. One day, I simply stopped trying. Not out of spite, but out of self-preservation. If she wanted space, I would give her space. If she wanted distance, I would respect it. That week was one of the longest of my life. We lived under the same roof, ate at the same table, and even went to bed at the same time, but it felt like we were strangers inhabiting two different worlds. I busied myself with work, the gym, books, and long walks. I still cooked dinner, still cleaned the house, still spoke to her politely, but I stopped reaching out. By the fourth day, I noticed her confusion. She lingered in the kitchen a little longer than usual, as if waiting for me to wrap my arms around her. She brushed against me, accidentally, while reaching for a glass. At night, she shifted closer in bed, as though testing whether I would pull her in. But I didn't. On the sixth day, the cracks began to show. "You're being quiet lately," she said casually, trying to sound unconcerned. I simply smiled and replied, "Just tired." She frowned but let it go. By the seventh day, the tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. She slammed a cabinet door harder than necessary. She huffed when I didn't comment on her new dress. Finally, that night in bed, she turned to me and said sharply, "Why haven't you touched me all week? Not once. What's going on with you?" Her voice wasn't just annoyed, it was nervous. I put my book down and looked her straight in the eyes. For a long moment, I said nothing. Then I gave her the answer that had been building inside me for months. "Because I got tired of being the only one reaching out," I said quietly. "I got tired of wondering if my touch was wanted, or if it was just tolerated. I stopped, because I needed to see if you'd notice the difference. And now you finally have." She blinked at me, stunned into silence. For once, she didn't have a quick comeback. No excuses, no distractions, just the realization of what my words meant. Her lips parted like she wanted to say something, but nothing came out. She looked down at her hands, twisting her wedding ring nervously. The silence between us now wasn't empty. It was heavy, meaningful, full of the weight of truths we had both been avoiding. I didn't say anything more. I turned off the lamp and lay back down. For the first time in a long while, she was the one lying awake, thinking. And for me, that was enough.